Cooper's friends, what would you do if you were living a disciplined life in the military, and then suddenly received a phone call telling you something surprising? Not about family, not about friends, but about a little creature that has been loyal to accompany you. Asterisk, today we are going to discuss the shocking and emotional news coming from one of the brightest stars in South Korea, Cha Eun-woo. Yes, this handsome idol, who is known for his perfect face like a statue, soft voice, and extraordinary acting skills, was experiencing a moment that really shook his heart. Telephone receiver. A short phone call in between his busy military service made his whole emotions shaken. And even more surprising, the phone was not just another ordinary call. Behind the simple ringtone, there is a news that instantly makes Eun-woo's heart collapse instantly. But wait, before we peel what exactly the contents of the phone, let's first explore how Cha Eun-woo's life during his military service. Because this is where a story full of twists and turns begins, and how a simple phone can bring so much effect, even connecting the story of Eun-woo's faithful best friend, her beloved dog. Since officially entering the military, the public has paid tremendous attention to Cha Eun-woo. Naturally, her figure, accustomed to living on stage in the spotlight of cameras, now has to adapt to a hard life, full of discipline and far from luxury. His days are now filled with physical training, long lines, night picket duty, to group work with other fellow soldiers. Many people were worried, would an idol as handsome and popular as Cha Eun-woo be able to adjust to the rigors of military life? But the news circulating said, Eun-woo was able to undergo all that well. Although of course there are tough moments, such as when he has to be away from his family, from his friends at ASTRO, and the hardest, away from his pet. Yes, for those who don't know, Eun-woo has a dog that she loves very much. This animal is not just a pet, but is already considered family. In several interviews before his enlistment, Eun-woo even mentioned that his dog was often the reason he felt calmer after coming home from work. Just imagine, from the concert stage full of cheering fans, from the grueling drama set, to the endless shooting schedule, Cha Eun-woo always comes home with a smile when he sees his little dog running to greet him. The relationship between the two is so close that even fans know how valuable the animal is to the idol. Everything is normal in the barracks. That day Eun-woo had just finished a pretty heavy morning training session. The sun was scorching, sweat soaked his military uniform, but he still tried to keep his smile in front of colleagues. After a simple lunch in the canteen, the soldiers were given a short break. Some choose to sleep for a while, some write letters to family, and others quietly call their loved ones. Here, an unexpected moment approached. Special military mobile phones used alternately by the soldiers rang. One of the colleagues mentioned Eun-woo's name. At first he was surprised, who would call him at such a short break? With a slightly rushed step, Eun-woo picked up the phone. His voice sounded normal when he said hello. However, a few seconds later, his expression began to change. His smile vanished, his eyes staring blankly, as if his body had lost energy. The barracks colleagues who saw it immediately felt that something was wrong. What's wrong with Eun-woo? Whose phone is that? And why was his face suddenly so pale? Cooper's friends, this is what makes the hearts of fans touched when this story reaches the public. As it turns out, the phone brings shocking news about Eun-woo's beloved dog at home. However, before we get to the heart of the news he received, let's first see how the figure of this dog is so attached to Cha Eun-woo's life. Because in the 4th minute, we will reveal what exactly happened after Eun-woo heard the news. The dog is not just an ordinary pet. Eun-woo has been taking care of her since she was a child, even before her popularity exploded in the entertainment world. As Eun-woo goes through a stressful trainee period, it is she who becomes his loyal companion, who always accompanies him late at night. When the entertainment world began to know the name Cha Eun-woo, this dog remained behind the scenes. He often accompanies Eun-woo when he is resting at home, a place where he pours out affection, even just talking after a hard day's work. Many fans have seen adorable photos of the two of them, where Eun-woo looks so happy while playing, hugging, or just sitting with her dog. No wonder, any news concerning this animal must have deeply shaken his heart. The narrative begins to tighten. The imaginary camera highlights Eun-woo's face that is silent on the other end of the phone. His hands trembled, his tone visibly changed. Barracks colleagues still do not understand what is happening, but they know for sure that this is not just ordinary news. And right here, Buddy Cooper's, the moment arrived. A brief phone call that initially looks ordinary turns into news that makes Cha Eun-woo's heart feel broken. News related to the little white furry creature that has always accompanied him. Yes, His favorite dog. What exactly happened? How's the dog? And how Eunwoo reacted after hearing the news. Buddy Copers. It was exactly in the 4th minute that all the mysteries began to unfold. The phone that made Cha Eunwoo's face turn pale turned out to be no ordinary phone. The news he heard was about his little friend whom he had longed for in the midst of the busy military life. Yes, Eunwoo's beloved dog is rumored to be experiencing quite serious health problems. The person who called at the time was his family. With a voice full of caution, they broke the news that Eunwoo's little dog had a sudden deterioration in condition. At first, the dog just looked a little lethargic, not as excited as usual. But when taken to the vet, the results of the examination showed there was a bigger problem. Imagine Cooper's friend, Eunwoo, who is serving his country's obligations, suddenly receives news that his little friend is struggling with an illness. Feelings of guilt, sadness and worry are mixed together. On the other end of the phone, her family tries to calm Eunwoo down. They said, "Don't worry too deeply, we are taking good care of it. But we think you should know, it's not as strong as it used to be." That sentence left Eunwoo speechless for a long time. Even after the call was over, he did not immediately put down the receiver. He stared blankly at the floor, his eyes glazed over, and his breathing sounded heavy. Seeing the situation, the fellow soldiers began to approach. They don't know exactly what happened, but they can feel that Eunwoo is being hit by deep sadness. Some try to pat him on the shoulder, signaling that they are there to support. There are also those who prefer silence, respecting their personal space. One of the soldiers even said softly, "It's not easy to hear from the outside when we're here. Stay strong." That simple remark alone was enough to make Eunwoo feel a little calmer. Even though her tears were still dripping, she tried to keep the kink. Because after all, he is a soldier on duty, and does not want to look fragile in front of many people. After the phone call, Eunwoo can't sleep at night. He lay on his barracks bed, staring up at the ceiling. While his mind was filled with the image of his little dog, he remembered the first time he brought her home. Still small, petite body and round eyes full of curiosity, Eunwoo patiently cares for him, trains him, until the dog grows into a loyal friend. The warmest memories are when he came home late at night from filming a drama. Even though his body was tired, his smile immediately expanded when he saw his dog running to greet him at the door. No matter how busy or stressed, the presence of the animal always manages to calm his heart. And now, when he hears that his little friend is sick, longing mixes with guilt. "If only I could be there. If only I could be with you right now." She murmured inwardly. This news, although it initially circulated only by word of mouth among military colleagues, eventually reached the ears of the public as well. Fans around the world were touched to hear that their idol was facing a tough test. On social media, hashtags such as **# Stay Strong Eunwoo and #Pray for Eunwoo Dog *** were widely used by fans. They flooded the timeline with words of encouragement, prayers, and also old photos of Eunwoo with her dog. Many fans wrote "We know you are strong, but we also know how much you love your dog. Hope everything's okay."